What am I hearing? I wanted to remove my wig until I saw this. You said Iran did what? You said the orange man sent message to Iran and Iran refused to answer that call of the most prominent, the most respected, the most valued presidents. Iranians, who do you think you are? How dare you not accept to answer the orange man's call? This is what you get when you slept on the 27th. Wake up on the 28th and announce, we are at war. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, let's go watch the F around and find out moments of the orange man, and I'll be back with commentaries.
A little bit of breaking news coming out of the Middle East. Hearing in the last few moments from the Reuters news agency that Iran has rejected a US proposal for a 48-hour ceasefire. That's according to an unnamed source speaking to the Fars news agency. Iran rejecting a US proposal apparently for a 48-hour ceasefire. We'll keep across that for you.
Damn. Things are getting more interesting. So, you heard it. Donald Trump reached out to Iran, requested a 48-hour ceasefire. I'm assuming, I don't know what the ceasefire is for, but Iran said, nope. No fucking way. See, one very important thing to remember is when this war started, Iran came out and I think they have their own 6-point plan for the ending of this war. Trump gave his 15-point plan. Iran gave 6. And of Iran's 6, I can't remember what all of them are, but I very much remember Iran saying the first point is there will be no negotiations. No. The first point is the war ends on their terms. Second point is there's no negotiations while they're under fire. So if Trump wants any negotiation, they're going to have to stop attacking Iran, and then this is the important point, important part of it. They said Trump has to stop attacking Iran, and then they will consider if they're interested in a deal. They're not say, they said if you stop attacking us, we will see if we're interested in a deal. And the third, I think, I'm not sure, is the new Ayatollah is about to issue the third is ballistic missiles are they're non-negotiable. That any talk of Iran is not allowed to build ballistic missiles, Iran said that is not even part of the conversation. They will build ballistic missiles. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, their nuclear program is going to be untouched. I don't know, but I'm not sure. But anyways, bottom line here is, United States has reached out to Iran, said, hey, can we take a 48-hour ceasefire? Iran said, nah, not around here. We're going to keep shooting.
We have some serious Iran news this afternoon. President Trump and his national security team have now urgently gathered at the White House, according to ABC News, as the United States Air Force has had its worst day since the start of the war. At the same time, Sky News is now reporting that Iran has rejected a United States proposal for a 48-hour ceasefire. Right now, negotiations have essentially stalled. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that they have hit a kind of stoppage point. Negotiations have been ongoing in Pakistan between the United States and Iran, but they don't seem to be getting anywhere. And Iran has rejected all of the United States' demands as, quote, unacceptable, and refused to even meet American officials in Islamabad. Their regional ceasefire efforts led by Pakistan have now officially hit a dead end. Iran has reportedly rejected the ceasefire, according to Sky News, and Trump is now gathering with his national security team in the Oval Office or in the Oval Dining Room as he's getting updates about an American aircraft, F-15, that was shot down by the Iranians. Major developments. I'll have more updates for you soon. Follow for more.
Folks, Donald Trump is having an emergency meeting in the White House right now with his national security team. The White House is in a state of chaos over the Iran war as Iran has rejected numerous Trump ceasefire proposals today. Trump proposed a 48-hour ceasefire. He is desperately looking for an off-ramp in this war, and Iran says no deal as they have just struck down several U.S. aircraft today in the worst day for the U.S. military since the start of this war, since the start of Operation Epic Fury. Donald Trump claims the war has already been won, yet Iran is striking back and they are vowing to fight until the bitter end. So this war will likely drag on much longer than the White House anticipated. And folks, I'm actually out of town right now, but if I find some updates on what happens in this emergency meeting taking place in the White House, I will be sure to provide you with those updates in a timely manner. But all in all, the White House is in absolute disarray, especially after Pam Bondi was let go yesterday, and now the Iran war continues to backfire for the president and for the economy as well. Oil prices are surging and more Americans are getting attacked in the Middle East.
Trump just said this on Truth Social. He's given Iran exactly 48 hours to make a deal or open the Strait of Hormuz. If they don't, he promised to rain down hell by Monday. To see where this is going, look what Pete Hegseth just did at the Pentagon. He fired the Army Chief of Staff and other 11 generals. Why do you fire your best generals right before a war? You don't. Unless those generals were the ones holding back a move this country hasn't seen in 50 years. Then you have spokesperson Katam Al-Hanbiya making it even more intense. They're claiming they captured an American pilot, and they're demanding the release of 10,000 Palestinians prisoners to get him back. And when Trump talks about bringing them back to Stone Age, he's straightforward. He's talking about hitting the power plants and the water supply. He's talking about breaking the very things that let a country function. If those strikes hit, the whole nation shuts down overnight. Expect gas prices to explode.
Breaking news as the White House unexpectedly cut off press access to Trump today, canceled all public events. They called a lid on press photos with the president, and they said they're not ready to have any sort of public speaking engagement regarding the missing airmen in Iran until it seems like he is found. He is still, as of this hour, not been located yet. The search has become frantic, and they're now worried that Iran might have captured this airman and might hold leverage over the United States. So this situation could become more serious as we learn more here in the next few hours. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
We're back with more breaking news and more updates. Tonight, I'm going to be posting every 2 hours on updates, just like I used to 2 weeks ago, so hey! Okay, Iran has ejected a 48-hour ceasefire proposed by the United States through intermediaries, according to Fars news agency. And according to Pakistani media reports, Pakistan has reportedly rejected a request from the UAE to intervene against Iran militarily. And Trump to the independent news outlet, I'm not ready yet to announce what America will do if the missing fighter pilot is harmed. And Trump to NBC, we are now in a state of war, and what has happened today is part of this war. Mind you, we haven't heard anything from Congress. And this reporter from Newsmax has stated, I've now confirmed the Black Hawk was hit by Iran. The crew is accounted for and is safe, a U.S. official tells me. And the Times has reported a second Air Force combat plane crashed in the Persian Gulf region on Friday, and the lone pilot was safely rescued, according to 2 U.S. officials who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss operational matters. The A-10 Warthog attack plane went down near the Strait of Hormuz about the same time that an Air Force F-15E was shot down over Iran, the official said. In that incident, 1 crew member was rescued, and search and rescue operations are looking for the second airman. Officials provided scant details about the A-10 crash, including how and where it happened. And Trump tweeted this, and NBC News also reported on it as well. And again, I reported on this last night, but it is important that Casualty cover-up, the Pentagon is hiding U.S. losses under Trump in the Middle East. Now let's go over all the losses. The Pentagon is hiding U.S. casualties from the Iran war. The Intercept reports and the numbers are staggering. An Intercept analysis finds nearly 750 U.S. troops unalived or wounded since the war began. CENTCOM has been feeding reporters outdated figures that exclude recent attacks, won't provide a blink count, and refuse to even confirm how many bases have been hit. A defense official called it a casualty cover-up. Basically, there are at least 15 unalive, 520 plus wounded, and 200 sailors treated after the fire aboard that ship there. Iranian strikes have forced U.S. troops off their bases entirely, retreating to hotels and office buildings across the region. An Iranian airplane already hit a luxury hotel in Bahrain, wounding Pentagon employees. Former CENTCOM commander General Voltel warned this could turn civilian infrastructure into military targets. Retired generals are now speaking out. The Pentagon knew Iran would retaliate against U.S. bases and did nothing to harden them. The failure to invest in a hardened infrastructure was a choice, one analysis told The Intercept. Hegseth prayed for troops at a Pentagon press conference. A defense official's response: why didn't Hegseth protect them? And here is another article provided by a different outlet on the status of a second service member unknown after the F-15E was shot down. And look at this, U.S. doubles insurance guarantee for ships braving Hormuz. The U.S. will insure losses up to $40 billion for tankers brave enough to transit the Strait of Hormuz, double its original guarantee announced a month ago. Berkshire Hathaway and Liberty Mutual are among 6 new insurers with which the federal government is partnering to provide maritime reinsurance to ships traveling through the Persian Gulf. The U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, a federal institution tasked with attracting private capital, is running the insurance program. These leading American insurers bring deep underwriting experience in marine and marine war coverage, strengthening our efforts to help restore and confidence in maritime trade. Ben Black, chief executive of the DFC, said Friday. Trump announced his plan to unblock the strait in early March, but the DFC has yet to launch a public application portal for insurance. The agency, which originally partnered with the Swiss-American insurer Chubb to front the effort, said it would soon share more information on the application process. And look at this, air defense units of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps report 2 cruise missiles have been blinked down over those 2 places. 2 MQ-9 attack paper airplanes downed over Isfahan, and 1 Hermes paper airplane intercepted over that place there. Secretary General of NATO Mark Rutte will travel to Washington, D.C. from April 8th through the 12th. On the 8th, Rutte will meet with President Trump, Secretary Rubio, and Secretary Hegseth, or should we say Secretary of War Hegseth. Notably, this trip from Rutte comes amid threats from Donald Trump, including a withdrawal from NATO due to the European nations being reluctant to enter the war in Iran. And the president also stated, just as I was addressing the American people, the head of our Strategic Council on Foreign Policy was targeted in that type of attempt, leading to the martyrdom of his innocent wife. Let the world judge which side engages in dialogue and negotiation and which in tea. I have to say, this is absolutely ruthless. Breaking, the IRGC has sealed off a large area in Iran's Kogilure and Bohir Ahmad province to search for the missing U.S. pilot, along with local security forces and civilian tribal groups, 3 Iranian officials tell the New York Times. And I received this tip. I don't know how true this is, but just so you guys know, the IRGC is approaching the area where the American pilot is believed to be hiding about 20 minutes ago. And breaking, Iranian security official to Press TV, we will no longer allow logistical supplies to pass to U.S. bases through the Strait of Hormuz. And breaking, the Paradox airstrikes targeted multiple areas in the southwestern Bekaa. And look at what Beijing stated, U.S. lying to justify Panama Canal takeover. And U.S. Senator is asking Iran to treat the American pilot according to humanitarian laws despite U.S. boom civilian infrastructure. The message I wanted to convey here is that if the second pilot is not rescued, he should be treated in accordance with international humanitarian laws regarding prisoners. Many argue that the U.S. actions to attack Iran's civil infrastructure are a violation of international law if Iran shows that if it captures this pilot, it will allow international humanitarian law. It will be a very strong message that we must always follow the rules, especially when it comes to survivors of attacks like this. And breaking news, the new acting attorney general confirms that he will not be prosecuting any of them on that list. It even exposed their names. None of them work for the people, none of them. Are we surprised? And boom booms reported in Damascus. And as of 30 minutes ago, this is their situation. And they are now on wave 93 of Operation True Promise 4. And breaking news, it is currently 2 in the morning in Iran, so this has to be absolutely true. But initial reports that another American fighter jet was blinked down over Iran. It is covered, nobody can go in, nobody can go out. And initial reports indicate the jet was blinked down above Tehran and crashed near Saveh. The area has been isolated by the military and no one is allowed to enter or leave. That is all the updates I have for you guys on the past 3.5-4 hours. I will be back at 8:30 for another update.
Did you hear the news? Oh, you didn't? Let me fill you in. So apparently, according to Far's news agency, which is an Iranian news channel, Donald Trump, the orange blob, came cap in hand to Iran going, please, sir, may we have a 48-hour ceasefire deal? Please you, we're getting smooched too much by your missiles. Please stop. And Iran, they were like, let me think about it. No, bitch. No, no, no. Yella, bye bye. And it just makes me think about all the times that the settler colonial entity known as Israel rejected ceasefires when it came to Gaza over and over again. And Iran is like, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Trump, you decided to start this war on us, and we told you very clearly we will end it on our own terms, and that includes ceasefires. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Is this a good thing that Iran has done? Should they have negotiated with terrorists, or should they just carry on booming? Let's talk about it.
Good morning and breaking fuck the news. Oh, this is the most hilarious shit I've heard all morning, brother. So the United States had gone to Iran and said, "Hey, Iran, we want to have a 48-hour ceasefire, Iran. Can you agree to those terms, Iran?" And these niggas looked back at the United States and said, "No." That's crazy. Let me tell you how crazy that is, right? The Donald Trump special is, we're gonna bomb the fuck out of you, request a ceasefire, strong arm your shit. That's the special. That's the United States special. We bomb countries, and then we go ceasefire deal right now. These niggas said no. What? You see, everybody's probably thinking to myself, well, Trip, that is amazing, motherfucker. Let me tell you how amazing that shit is. Okay? Niggas don't usually tell the United States no.
How are Americans feeling about the war in Iran 1 month in? We asked some people here in Washington, D.C.
Personally, it's not anything we're excited about, and kind of wish to stop fighting other countries' wars altogether.
What is your main concern here?
The cost would be my main concern.
Is that cost of lives or in your pocket or both?
Both.
Very much so.
No plans, no information before we got in heavily. Communication is not good, and it's just a struggle to watch because we don't belong there.
Can I ask you how you voted back in 2024, and how does that align with what's happening in Iran?
Well, I didn't vote for our current administrator. I had hopes that it would be better than it is, but every day it's a little bit worse.
And I don't think there was a well thought out view of the consequences. And he's getting a lesson now. And I mean, I don't know if our armaments even have enough to sustain what we're trying to do.
I support our president because I feel they know more than me in what we need to do as a nation. Hopefully it works out for everybody.
So would you identify as MAGA then?
No, I voted for Trump, but I'm not 100% behind everything that Trump does.
Okay.
I'm not.
So you would be one of those 7 in 10 Republicans that would support the president, but you're kind of lukewarm about the idea of this operation war.
I was for it. Now I'm at the point now I wish it would just get done. And he ran where he wouldn't put us in any more wars, but now here we are. We're in a war.
Right now I'm seeing a lot of confusion online about the difference between NATO and the United Nations. So let's just start with the United Nations. Some of this may be familiar to some of you. It may even be pedestrian, but for some of you it may be new. Right now, it matters that you understand how this actually works. The United States and Israel began bombing Iran on February 28th. The United Nations Security Council has passed one resolution. That resolution condemns Iran, the country that was struck first. If that sounds backward, that's exactly why we're here talking about this. I pulled the Security Council voting records in the UN Charter. This is what they say. Okay, so think of the United Nations as a building where 193 countries are tenants. The Security Council is the landlord. The United Nations is not a world government. It's a forum. It does real work through its agencies, humanitarian missions, health programs, relief operations around the world. But when it comes to actually stopping a country from doing something, that authority sits in one body, the Security Council. The Security Council has 15 members. 5 of them are permanent, and they've been there since 1945. They are the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Russia, China. They're called the Permanent 5, or the P5. The other 10 seats on the council rotate. These countries are elected to 2-year terms. Each of the Permanent 5 has a veto. One country votes no, the resolution dies. 14 of the 15 vote yes, doesn't matter. 135 nations co-sponsor it, doesn't matter. One veto, it's done. The United States has used that veto more than 80 times since 1945. The single most common use of that veto has been blocking accountability for Israel. Sit with that, really sit with that. Russia has done the same thing more than a dozen times to protect Syria. That's not 2 countries abusing the system, that is the system. This structure goes back to 1945. The UN was built by the countries that won World War II. Before it, there was the League of Nations. It failed because the major powers walked away. The United States was never even a part of it. So the founders made a calculation. Give the most powerful countries a permanent veto to keep them at the table. A flawed system with them beats a principled one they abandon. And that made sense in 1945. But the world is not 1945 anymore. Here's one more thing. The Security Council presidency rotates monthly. Whoever holds it controls the agenda. In March 2026, just last month, the United States held that presidency, the same month it was bombing Iran. The country running the war was chairing the body designed to stop it. Iran's ambassador said that out loud on the record in the chamber. Taiwan, Kosovo, Palestine. None of them have a seat. You probably already understand and know why. The Security Council was built to maintain world peace. It works when none of the 5 are the ones breaking it. The structure is functioning exactly as designed. The question then becomes, designed for whom? If this was helpful, click follow. I'll have another post soon about how the UN is currently responding to the United States and Israel's conflict, well, really war, with Iran. Save this if you need to come back to it for reference. And let me know what questions you have about the UN in the comments.
We don't need the Hormuz Strait. We don't need it. We don't need it at all. We have so much oil. Our country is not affected by this.
Our country is not affected by this.
Gas prices are up after about $1 a gallon.
The first time ever, the U.S. Postal Service is imposing an 8% fuel surcharge on packages. This stems from the Iran war.
We're looking at a 20% potential increase in United Airlines airfares, but that would be all airfares. We've also got a diesel problem here. We've seen diesel prices jumping as well. So whether it's your grocery store, your airfare, whether it's your summer driving plans, everything is affected by energy, gasoline, diesel prices.
Iran said no. Do your worst. Do your worst. That thing you think you know how to do best, do it. Ah, God, how did we get here? How did we get to this point? How did we get to... He gave Iran 48 hours and Iran said no. And he said his major target right now is to start hitting their major source, their power supply, blah, 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 east, west, north, and south. Start buying fuel, gas, whatsoever you call it in your country. Start buying it and stocking it in your house. Because from next week, the price might just explode. You know, the problem I have with this man is the fact that this man will continue to make us look as if we are enjoying this war, we are winning this war, we are on top of this war, we got this war cover, while in real sense, we are losing. He gave Iranians 48 hours. These people cannot even wait for at least 24 hours to come back and say no. They rejected it bluntly to his face. No. No. God. The war was never meant to be yours, sir. The war was meant to be Israel's battle. Israel were supposed to be doing their thing. They were supposed to be going with their thing. They were supposed to be doing what they think they can do. But right now, the orange man is even trending more than the owners of the battle. The orange man is even trending more than Israel right now. A lot of aircraft has been struck by Iran, by Iranians. Missing crews that we've been seeing online, east, west, north, and south. Deploying troops to the Middle East, and at the end of the day, they are just basically losing their lives. And this man still wants to keep putting pressure. He still wants to keep doing what will make Iranians just... You guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode, honestly. Because I lack words. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you. Liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks. And also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. Yeah, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye. I'll see you guys in my next one. Just let me know your honest thoughts. Bye for now, guys. Mwah.